Embracing figures at Pompeii could have been gay lovers after scan reveals they are both men. Be me, drinking wine with best bro, served 10 years in army together, saved my life once, named my son after the guy, mountain freaking explodes, find house and hide for shelter, gave each other one last bro hug, ashes bury us both, 1900 years later get found, lol, gay boys. This is what I mean, this could have been the situation. I'm not sure why they resorted to this immediately. They were just hugging each other, knowing that this was their last moments. I'm not gonna like not hug my bro in the last moments, right? Oh, well now now I'd be a little afraid to go down in history for this. So yeah, anyways, like I said, I mean, I don't even know what to believe anymore. Because at first, you know, everyone was just roommates, but now it seems like everyone, well, yeah, they're taking it in the opposite direction now. Was Mount Mordor just an allegory for Pompeii? It's like literally the story of these two, kind of. Death brought on by World War I, knocking on the door of the Ottoman Empire, the Russian Empire, the German Empire, and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Meanwhile, there's the French and British Empire sneaking out the back. But what's funny is that there would be a brother Grim Reaper known as World War II that would end up getting him as well. In fact, the World Wars pretty much ended up getting every empire. Unless you're talking about the American Empire, maybe they'll get us for World War III. But yes, the first one definitely brought an end to the Austro-Hungarian Empire and the Ottoman Empire, the Russian Empire too, because that would end up becoming the Soviet Union over here. Now, the Second World War didn't immediately bring an end to the French and British empires, but it pretty much started it. It was the beginning of the end. It was only a matter of time before their complete collapse. Don't forget, it also ended the Portuguese Empire and the Dutch Empire. I can't quite remember who, but I think there was a quote by either a Russian or German diplomat that the Great War would be an end of empires. However, World War II made the Soviet Empire. Thankfully, their own economy took care of that in 40 years. 5.56 service rifles during the Cold War. Everyone has to have a completely different rifle because we're all special and free-thinking. Meanwhile, the Warsaw Pact be like, everyone has to have a slightly different version of the same gun and the parts aren't even interchangeable. I mean, that's kind of what made the AKs cool, though. I mean, in my opinion. And a lot of other Americans' opinions. I mean, it's just so iconic, even if that wasn't necessarily the most efficient. I mean, even in video games to this day, it's just so world famous. Of all of history's most terrifying monsters, you are by far the most evil thing I've ever encountered. Angry snow noises. Oh, that's Finland. And yeah, the Soviets were very terrified of the Finns. I don't know if terrified is the word, but I mean, even to this day, there's still a debate if the Finns really did beat the Soviets in the Winter War. I don't think it really matters. The most important thing is they definitely didn't expect it to be as hard as it was. The Finns put up a really great fight. And then funny enough, even during the Cold War, the still didn't mess with Finland. They knew it was best just to kind of leave those people alone from now on. I think it's a fantastic way to describe it. The Winter War was basically the Soviet Union punching a thick brick wall and making a hole, but ended up with a really bloody arm. Ah yes, the phrase, the English are fleeing. In France circa 1371, that's an awesome phrase. In France circa 1940, that's a terrifying phrase. Same nation, same sentence, it just drastically depends on the time period we're talking about. It can mean two very different things. In that first conflict, you had the French fighting the English during the 100 Years' War. They were trying to kick them out of their territory. Then fast forward about 7 centuries later, and the French and English are on the same side. But the English are fleeing means that they're just going back to the British Isles, leaving the French all alone against the no-no Germans. I mean, it was for the best though, so I mean, sorry, France. The Weimar Republic trying not to go bankrupt. Meanwhile, France demanding Germany to pay its war reparations. It's funny that we're doing these memes back to back. I think about this right before World War II. You know, if they weren't so adamant about getting their money back, I wonder if the Germans would have got so desperate to vote in a failed Austrian painter. Just, you know, some food for thought, I guess. A Western tourist who paid to take a photo with samurai armor on, 1890. Probably the first documented weeb in history. Whose great-great-grandfather is this? Please, come get your grandpappy. I guess this is just like a human thing. Or maybe not a human. I mean, we're all weebs now, right? Every part of the world, I think, has a little bit of weeb in them at this point. But man, what's up with human civilization's obsession with Japan? Who wouldn't want to do that? Moreover, who wouldn't want to be the first person to do that, even as the neckbeard? In Egypt, 2 male royal manicurists named these two names, sorry, I would just butcher that, were found buried together in a shared tomb similar to the way married couples are. The epigraph reads, joined in life, joined in death, having lived in the year 2400 BC. They are believed to be history's oldest roommates. And they were roommates. Right, roommates. Nothing curious about that at all. No, but you know what? When it comes to this stuff, I don't even know what to believe anymore. I mean, this seems like a pretty straightforward example. And they were two mates. Oh my god, they were two mates. So yeah, we just used some old bricks lying around the Indus Valley to build this 160-kilometer long railway. What archaeologists? What? Oh my god, please tell me you didn't do that. Do you have any idea what you've done? They discovered this archaeological site and then immediately destroyed it, or at the very least, just severely messed it up. This civilization is among some of the oldest we have ever never found. Fortunately, we didn't completely destroy it for that railway. Historically, reusing materials from older constructions for new constructions is a common thing. That's how the marble outer layer of the Egyptian pyramids was taken out for the new constructions. They were good bricks. Hello, yearly tribute? Sorry, yearly tribute machine broke. Unacceptable. Prepare for war. The Ottomans versus the original OG vampire. Vlad the Impaler of Romania. Hey, or are we about to fight? I guess humans have always been kind of saying that phrase. Can't believe the Turks had so much beef with Count Chocula. The Vikings converting to Christianity after plundering countless monasteries. Running into the Mongols converting to Islam after ending the Islamic Golden Age. Didn't realize these two had so much in common. And they were all around kind of the same time. They only miss each other by like 2 or 3 centuries. It has always been kind of crazy to me that the Vikings ended up converting to Christianity and the Mongols eventually to Islam. I mean, kind of. It was, you know, kind of. Just like the Romans converting to Christianity after crucifying and spearing Jesus. Never raid Abrahamic religious settlements. Worst mistake of their life. The Mongol Empire and the rest of Europe and Asia. Hee hee. Horse go clop clop. Oh, we're being invaded again. Why do they keep coming back? Meanwhile, the Mongol Empire and the East Roman Empire. Friends? Yes. How did the Byzantines manage to do that? Because yes, believe it or not, the Eastern Roman Empire and the Mongol horde did border each other for decades. Which I know how often I show this map and I know exactly how far they got, but directly mentioning that they were bordering the Romans. It's crazy. I kind of forget about that. And not only that, but that they were also friends for a little time there. I mean, friends should be in kind of quotation marks, I think, kind of. The Mongols did eventually plan to attack Constantinople. Hey, look, it's this region of Earth, and it's about to be grabbed by Palestine and Israel. Put it back, theft. Oh, that's Italy and Rome? Yeah, I'm sure Italy would definitely want that back. Rome was definitely there at one point in history. If you're gonna go back 2,000 years, you might as well go back 3,000 years, right? I've also seen arguments that this is actually Spain's lands because of the Treaty of Tordesillas they made with Portugal. Put it back, theft. Oh, wait, that's not... the Roman Empire hand's now being stopped by the... Is this the Sea Peoples? I remember that flag. Put it back, theft. Wait, their hand is now being stopped by the British, and their hand is being stopped by the Ottomans, and that's not the Mamluks, but that's definitely the Ottomans. Wait, how far does this go? Is this just Inception at this point? A dream within a dream within a dream? Okay, wait, yeah, I definitely messed this meme up. That's definitely not the Sea Peoples. It's not supposed to go that far back, I guess. I don't know. They're all basically beefing for this land, and that's a wrap. It was always Ottoman, nothing prior. I think there's only one true answer, though. Here it is. Here's the Holy Land. Here's Palestine and Israel. Put it back, theft. It's actually just, the original, like, fish people that came on land. That for some reason I never can stop thinking about wanting to curb stomp it. I feel like that'd be so satisfying. Bah! Crunch. No, but next time you have to pay taxes, blame these animals. We should have never left the ocean. Primordial fish all the way! Yes, my great ancestor. I love mental illness. Yeah. The capital of the USA is New York. Send the letter. It appears Americans aren't the only one bad at geography. The world's oldest republic might also be terrible at geography as well. A letter from San Marino was addressed to Lincoln in New York. It was to accept the honor of citizenship from this nation. I mean, can we really blame them? I also make this mistake all the time. What's the capital of Illinois? It's not Chicago. A lot of places on Earth love to make their biggest city the capital, but for some reason, us in the US don't. There are two kinds of saints. On one hand, we have Saint Patrick, converts pagans through mostly peaceful methods. Then Saint Olga burns down a city of pagans. Both saints, though, they just chose two drastically different methods, kind of. Choose your path, I guess. I wonder what way I'd go. Listen, it wasn't about religion. She was avenging her husband. That's personal. Typical Western colonialism, meanwhile, glorious conquest in the name of the prophet. Again, a lot of people still make this mistake, just around the world in general, that only Europe did colonialism, and it was specifically just one side of Europe, and specifically there was only certain countries in Europe, and there were plenty of examples of Asian empires that did something similar. How many times have I gone over the list? You got the Persian Empire, the Umayyad Empire, the Ottoman Empire, we talked about the Mongolian Empire, more recently the Japanese Empire. I know people are bad at history, but this isn't really that deep of stuff. It's pretty general knowledge. The Mongols conquering versus the Turks conquering. I've never seen anything like this before. I mean, a meme like this, yes, but not that the Turks conquered. Who made this? Who made this? I'm sure there's lots of interesting comments about this. Yeah, we're not even gonna get into that. Most people don't realize how big Hungary actually is. So I added Hungary for reference. Oh man, that's deep. That's a little dirty. Hungary was a lot bigger back in the day compared to now. Meanwhile, the United States of America, 121 years ago. Yeah, just kind of removing this boil from Colombia's face. That boil being Panama, as you can see. Pretty interesting history. The U.S. meddling in other American nations, nothing new to see. Colombia used to be a little bit bigger until the U.S. wanted to make a little canal. Wanted to saw this country in half. Kind of just pop that out like We'll take that. The Supreme Court ruled on April 15th, 1869, if U.S. states could secede from the Union. Majority opinion emphasized denial of the right to secession claimed by seceding states. They declare the United States is an indestructible union composed of indestructible states. What amazing word usage there. Yeah, I guess we're indestructible. You cannot secede. That includes Texas too. That's been a popular myth for a while now that has been disproven. German soldiers in the year 1939, trained and well equipped. Looking all Chad over here. Meanwhile, German soldiers in 1945. Oh, that's just literally a child. Crazy what the German army can do in 6 years, turning your basic frontline soldier into a 12-year-old boy. That's amazing. Not good, but amazing. Unfortunately, something similar can be said about the Japanese as well. I feel like this has unfortunately just been like kind of a theme in history for a lot of different nations. Infantry. That Axis alliance was desperate. I need you to move your regiment. I need orders from General Sun. General Sun is under my control. Well, yes. So if he was here, he would follow my orders. That makes sense to me. Then move your regiment. I need orders from General Sun. Yeah, something tells me this guy's about to absolutely lose it. This is about the defeat into victory from this field marshal, a campaign in Burma and India against the Japanese, and the Chinese nationalists wonder why they lost. These are the type of stuff I love learning about when it comes to World War II now, like the front line in Burma. Who thinks about that? But there's so many interesting stories. I don't always get exiled, says Napoleon, but when I do, I make sure to come back and be exiled again. One is not enough. I've been exiled once, yes, but what about second exile? If only he just made that second comeback, although it was a lot further away. The British learned from their mistake. When Napoleon returned from Elba, the 7th Coalition declared war on him. Not on France, mind you, as they regarded Louis, her legitimate ruler. If that doesn't tell you how reviled and feared Napoleon was, I don't know what will. You know what? We're gonna exile you even harder now. I'll have a double triple England bad deluxe on an American losing to rice farmers, 4 by surrendering French and Kaiser shotgun, Poland femboy and the side of Hiroshima with extra art school Austrians, balkanize it, make it USSR anthem, burn it, and let it Reddit. This is how most history memes kind of go, and they've been like this for like, well, years, I guess, if you think about it. But that's why I like to make these videos, just because sometimes they do open up a very interesting conversation. The meme itself might be like beating a dead horse, but sometimes it starts me down an interesting rabbit hole. What about the emus? We serve history here, sir. And big thanks to my patrons. Month 3 in Drew's basement. Drew's Argentinian Grandpa. ZaneyBoi. KirinoIsBestGirl. The Mexican 760. Tambre. Mgmluthegoat. Tyrol. Luxembourg. Kansas. The Canadian Christmas Goose. KingBearHaze. InquisitorXarius. Fredrik Tibblin. Pavlik. Carmel Saida. And Archaeology.